Kirk Duckwell here with Mastermind the Market, your real estate stats update for the Twin Cities area. Well, where are interest rates going? Well, there's been a lot of talk about the Fed meeting this week. I actually decided to record this video just after they met, and they followed through with what they said they were going to do, which was a 0.75% increase in the Fed interest rate. However, people that follow my videos know that the Fed is usually last to act. So if the Fed says they might do something, we actually see that the bond yield, the 10-year bond yield, moves first, followed by mortgage rates. And then if the Fed follows through with what they're going to do without any changes, then we see kind of adjustments from there. So let's take a look at exactly what happened today. All right, so if we look at kind of the timeline here, we can see right before the Fed announcement, we saw kind of a spike in that bond yield because there was fear about the Fed raising a full percent instead of the 0.75. Then they did the 0.75, and we saw that drop back off. So we may see rates kind of level out or come back down even potentially a little bit. We'll see where the day ends up. But looking out into the future, we can take a look at forecasts.org. They made some adjustments earlier this week where they thought rates would end up. 5.88 is the average ending for September. Then kind of going into the future, 6.04. Keep in mind that is with points in there. So that actual interest rate is maybe about 1/4 to 1/3 of a percent higher than that if you're out there getting mortgage quotes. So this is based off of what we see here. So when we finished off last Thursday, it was at a 6.02. So we'll see how things end up tomorrow. Again, that's with 0.8 in points there. So the real rate is probably closer to 6.25, 6.375, somewhere in there. Okay, moving on to some other things that are happening in our marketplace. New listings did go up like we thought they would, jumping from 1194 up to 1407. Pending sales dropping off a little more than I was thinking they might, went from 997 down to 816. This is kind of the surprising one here. Even with the difference in new listings to pending sales, seeing a drop in inventory. So seeing some more canceled listings, expiring listings out there. So that inventory gap is closing down to 1.9. Wouldn't be surprised though if by next week we see some revisions there. Maybe that gap's a little bigger than they're showing at that point. All right, so where does that put our market? Well, on the market meter, it's a 4.89 out there. So where is a 4.89? Well, just below the middle, still in that balanced market range. Not too much of an advantage on average to buyers versus sellers. The key for sellers out there right now is to make sure that you're pricing appropriate for our current market. Our market is not where we were, going back into that spring market time where our market meter was up in the 12, 13 range. We're at a 4.89. On another note, we're going to take a look at showings per listing activity. That's staying relatively level, even going back to the beginning of August. 3.41. At that point was the slowest week we had seen in over a year. That's why I marked it in blue. Right now we're at a 3.35. So not much change there. That is down though over last year by 28%. Showings down by quite a bit too for the areas used. Was at 39.22 down to 28.24. This is becoming more and more of an opportunity for buyers. That said, not every house is, going to be this one you can, jump in and do extreme negotiation on. Look for those ones that have that little longer time on market. We're seeing more and more of those. The average time on market right now is approaching 27, 28 days, and a lot of those homes are seeing price reductions. So if you're looking for some of those better buys for buyers, those are the ones I'd be focusing on. And yeah, for sellers, just make sure you're pricing appropriately. I've seen a couple of my listings going into multiple offers, even in the last few weeks, as long as you're pricing for the current market conditions. Make sure you're checking the market conditions for your area. If you like this information, you can check out more at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There you can see all of our past shows. Or you can catch us on the CW23 Saturday mornings at 6:30 or AM 950 Sundays at noon. As always, you can reach out with any questions. Take care, be safe, and have a great week.